Hello, everybody. This is Kimchi Crypto. Today, I am going to address why this coin matters. Let's dive in. Rex Osprey poised to bring first Dogecoin ETF to market next week, analyst says. This Doge ETF would be the first ETF to deliver investors exposure to the meme coin's performance. In June, the Rex Osprey Solana staking ETF began trading thanks to a legal workaround of the Investment Company Act of 1940. For your information, 80% or more of its assets in Dogecoin ETF will be allocated to Dogecoin or features or swaps like those derivatives products. The remaining 20% portion is going to be treasuries or cash equivalents. The first ever Dogecoin ETF. And other major players in the United States, such as Bitwise, 21 Shares, and Grayscale, they also applied for Dogecoin ETF already. And the odds of those Dogecoin ETF approval is 80 to even 90% by the year end. Trump-backed Thumbs Up eyes 3,500 Dogecoin mining rigs with pending acquisition. Thumbs Up Media plans to set up 3,500 Dogecoin mining rigs by the year end with the pending acquisition of mining firm Dogehash. Thumbs Up also said it is expanding its crypto treasury to include Dogecoin, Litecoin, Solana, XRP, Ethereum, and USDC. As you know, Thumbs Up is a Nasdaq-listed company and backed by Donald Trump Jr., the first son of Donald Trump. His second son, Eric Trump, controls most of those crypto businesses, and he holds more than 60% of Ethereum in its World Liberty Financials portfolio, more than Bitcoin. For sure, they own Bitcoin mining company, which was listed just days ago, American Bitcoin. The valuation was around $500 million or something. And they also applied for Bitcoin ETF. Trump Media and Technology, they also applied for Bitcoin Spot ETF as well. But at the same time, they are heavily accumulating Ethereum, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Solana, XRP, World Liberty Financial, as well as other DeFi and meme coin, all those activities. They are earning fees as well as spot those altcoins. Dogecoin is Dogecoin Treasury launch sparks $1.44 price target as analysts eye 550% rally. The reasoning behind this is, well, Clean Core Solutions launched the first Dogecoin Treasury worth of $175 million backed by 80 plus institutional investors. Doge's weekly bullish megaphone pattern points to a potential rally toward $1 to $1.40. ETF approval odds in 2025, which I mentioned before, and corporate adoption could unlock billions of dollars in Dogecoin. If this pattern sustained, it's called a megaphone pattern in a bullish mode. Such institutional and ETF-driven demand could justify a $1 price target by the end of this year. It can go as high as $1.4, which is 740% compared to Dogecoin's current price. Well, it's a huge gain, to be honest. I picked up one example how to invest, which one to buy. Because Dogecoin, as you know, is a large cap, it's among top 10, and ETF has been approved. It's been applied in the United States already with the odds of 90% approval, and corporate treasury companies are buying Dogecoin. But not only Dogecoin I'm talking here. Solana, XRP, ADA, Polkadot, Avalanche, Hedera. Dogecoin, Sui, and Litecoin. The odds of ETF approval of these coins is more than 90% in the US dominated crypto la la land. What does this all mean? The odds is 90% US dominated, and ETF is, the United States is by far the biggest ETF market trading in terms of trading volume and everything. What does this all mean? The risk is very low and the gain is pretty high compared to its risks. If you invest in those altcoins, Nasdaq listed companies are buying these altcoins heavily, especially Ethereum, especially Solana these days, but Sui and Tau and Injective, all those altcoins. Versus, nobody pays attention to this news at all. Why? You need to wake up, I think. I know it's not easy to hodl and buy the dip in this time, this seasons like this, for sure. But here's the thing. The truth is, they are buying the dip aggressively. They're doing as much as they can do right now. They're just listing their companies in New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq. They're applying for several altcoin and Bitcoin ETFs. They're World Liberty Financial tokens. It's already being listed in major US and Chinese crypto exchanges. They're doing and buying everything they can do. Major altcoins shall be sold with basket ETFs or index ETFs in the United States, or it can be sold in a respective spot ETF as well, but mostly basket index ETFs. So here's the thing, unless you can time the market, you'd better buy and wait for at least a month or two. What do you think? Thank you for listening.